how is the man protecting the family in contemporary times?
Financial protection.
But the woman is
Providing
doing.
direction.
The woman is providing
In today's
financially as
world,
well.
yes, contributing to.
So if she's doing what you're supposed to be doing, maybe you should also be doing what she's supposed to be doing. So when you started talking about protection, I was thinking spiritual protection. You find in these times that women are the ones doing more of the praying. Hey. Thank you. What's up?
Ade, so what do you want to talk about today?
I think we've covered quite a bit. We've covered quite a few topics over the past weeks. I'm thinking, people. Hey, please, thank you. But people who, I mean, how do you get to a point where you can spend time on your own? I feel like there's a lot of people feeling the need to just connect and stay in touch and just always be on, right? I think it's hard for some people to switch off and spend time by themselves, get to know themselves better. Like some people don't even know what their favorite color is. Some people don't know what their favorite food is. Some people haven't taken the time to study themselves. And I think we should talk about just how to spend time with yourself. How can I frame that differently?
The art of being alone.
The art of being alone.
And the reason I like it is because being alone is an art, right? You have to, there's a craft to being alone. It's not just, just take off and just be MIA.
Right.
Because you're upset or because you're just tired of being with your spouse. Just taking off. There's an art to it. There's a way to do it. That's why I like the topic. The art of being alone. Right.
Yeah.
But I really do think that people who are married or are in a relationship need time to be alone.
They need to even know that. They need to know.
They need a breather.
Yeah.
Right. From time to time, they need times where they can go and recalibrate and then come back and then continue.
And that is that recalibration, because being around somebody, you give and give and give. You're giving attention, you're giving time, you're giving energy, you are giving of yourself, and then you don't get time to refuel. You don't get time, or you don't make time out to refuel, to just gather yourself again together, recenter yourself. Think of your ideologies. Do you still believe the same things? Do you understand? Do you still believe what you've always believed? What do you need to unlearn? What do you need to relearn? What do you need to learn, in fact? And that's why I like, and this may sound weird, I like adult education. I like when people take time out to go back to school, to go back to study something, learn something new, learn a new craft. And that's something I think I'll be doing soon. How do you feel about that?
Do you want to go back to school?
I
think that's a great idea. I think that's fantastic. Honestly.
Really?
I really do. Are you going to go with the kids?
You see yourself. How is that? Please, this is...
Sorry.
Time.
Are you going to go with the kids?
How is that alone time if I'm going with the kids?
No, I'm the one having the alone time.
Take. That was a good one. Yeah, no, I will be going alone. If I decide, I haven't decided yet. I think...
No, but jokes aside, I think it's a great idea.
Going back to school?
Yes.
When are you going back?
I will at some point.
You've been talking about this thing before we married.
I need to do my doctorate.
Yes. In what again?
I'll decide some communication course, something to do with something to do with communications and media and storytelling.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was film studies. But why do you think people find it hard to be alone? Like, why do you think people find it hard to spend time with themselves?
Because I think we just chow from this one.
Thank you.
I'm just reading it through.
Yeah. I really want to get your opinion on this. So,
on why do you think people
find it hard to be alone, to spend time with themselves, to just cut away from everything, the noise, the parties, everything, family even.
I think people get addicted to distractions. I think people get addicted to, people have learned to soothe themselves with noise. You know, so it's a coping mechanism. Some people can't face themselves. Some people don't know how to be quiet because their voices in the dark lurking, that they're afraid of. Their own voices, people are afraid to face themselves. So they drown out their voices, or drown out the voice of God, or drown out even their demons with noise, with music, with activity, with people. Some people with church activity, or people use that as a coping mechanism. I know.
I mean, because maybe that's because that's the circle that I know, and it's a community that I'm plugged into. I really think a lot of people use church as an escape from spending time with themselves. Like they use it as a crutch. Oh, I'm busy. We have prayers at 6 a.m. Oh, we're cleaning. I'm a sanctuary sweeper. We're sweeping at 5 on Saturday. We're this, we're that,
Can I say you used to be like that?
I used to be like that.
Like you had activities
back to back. Every day there was something.
I used to be so frustrated. I was like,
from 5:30. There was 5:30 a.m. prayers, and there was 12 noon prayers, and there was like 4 p.m. meetings, and then there were things, and it felt like my life was full, right? With all those things, it felt like, yes, my calendar was full, my life was full, and I was good. But it took cutting off and cutting away from all of that to realize that, okay, there's more to spirituality. Spirituality is different from religion. Spirituality is not church and serving and being there when they call you. You can actually say no. If they call you to lead something in church and you have a commitment with your family, you can actually say no. I think people are really afraid of, oh, I cannot say no to like church. I cannot say no to, but it's not really, is it God? No, church is not God. That's a different topic entirely.
Yeah, I'm saying that people are afraid to say no to church because it feels like saying no to God.
Right. And there just needs to be, a mindset shift. So I'm just thinking, when did you realize that you liked your alone time? Or have you always liked alone time?
I've always liked alone time.
Really?
I think, because I'm a homebody and I'm somewhat introverted, I'm somewhat of an ambivert, but I like to call myself an introvert. But I think because I'm an introvert, I just like to be. My best time is when everyone has left the house.
Same.
Like everyone just go, and I'll be alone on the couch, and I'll just be like,
But what are you doing in those moments?
Nothing. Like absolutely
nothing. Can you
nothing.
ever
Just
really
watching
be doing
TV
nothing?
and just maybe going through my phone. And I'm just like alone, by myself.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm also an empath.
You take on the energies around
like when people are around, I cannot ignore, I cannot shut them out. If someone isn't doing well, I'm like, okay, what's going on? If the kids are crying, what's happening? If what's happening with Toyosi, what's happening with the maid, with the cook, with the I'm like, everywhere because I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So it feels great when everyone is just away and I'm just like, I can listen to myself, I can love on myself, I can be by myself. It's great. Yeah. I love it when I travel as well. I love it when I travel for work and I'm just like,
I've told you this thing. When you travel for work, you'll be saying, oh, but I'm working. I'll be like, no, you're on a holiday. I do not believe that you can just travel for work without getting rest in. Yes, because you always have that extra, maybe 1 day or 2 days where you're doing nothing, or you have the day in between where you're not on set. So please don't be saying, no, I travel for work and then
But compared to your holidays, you can't count that as my holidays.
Because I'm saying I'm going on a holiday. You are acting like there's no holiday in there. But there is.
Like if you go on holiday, if you go on holiday and you spend a week on holiday, right? Say, example, you go to France and you spend a week in France. I go to England
to shoot
for a week, and then we're comparing and like, oh, but you went to England. I'm like, yes, for work. Right. And you go, yeah, but you have, that's like, even if I get work, the value of that work, the value of that rest compared to your 1 week of holiday, come on.
I think what you're doing now is comparison, and we talked about comparison. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, that's like
really? This gaslighting comparison is the thief of joy. Okay, so I just thought to mention that.
I know that.
But back to this art of being alone. How would you get a...
I have an apple.
No, not now, thank you. How will you get couples to really be intentional about it? Do you think it's something that should be structured? Maybe every quarter the husband is traveling, or every whatever it is, the wife is making time out. Is it something you think can become a norm?
You know, before I answer that question, I want to, use us as a case study. Because I'm tempted to think guys need more alone time than women, right? But I know that you are very deliberate about your alone time and how you usually say, I need time alone, I need time out, I need to go somewhere.
Because I can tell that I'm about to explode. If you spend time in Lagos, you need a break. By the time you go out, somebody is driving somehow, just no respect for laws, respect for rules. You're dealing with that. You're trying to be sane amidst insanity. You need a break.
So it's not a gender thing?
I don't think so.
Because
I'm surprised that you think men will need more alone time than women.
I think historically, men have been, and I stand corrected, but historically and traditionally, men have been the ones with like, what's that thing? A man den?
Oh, man cave.
A man cave. So a man cave.
Please, the ones that go, please. No.
I'm just saying traditionally now. Right. They have their man cave. Oh, we need some time out. And even like from time to time, we hear that men just need to just go out and just be like, guy.
And
like,
why do you assume women? Are you assuming? Let me ask. Are you assuming that women don't need that kind of space as well?
I haven't heard them say like apart from you, obviously, I haven't heard other women go like, oh, man, I need my woman cave, or I need time away, or like I just need to take a break and go somewhere or something.
We don't need woman cave. We need to leave the house. We need to not be around. We need to take time off. Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe that's why you don't hear us talk about a cave, because you're still in the house. And that I should track the history of that man cave. Like, where did it originate from? The origin of the man cave. I feel like it is from a group of men. This is what I feel. I may be wrong, and I will do my research. But it may be from a group of men who did not want to be around the noise and the chaos and just how homes can be with little children running up and down and the wife in the kitchen and all that noise. And then they decided to separate a special part of their home and call it daddy's space, and then it probably became the man cave, and that was them leaving the wife to do everything.
Yes, I think it's traditionally because the women control the household. They run the home.
Women were expected to
run the home. Like the kids are everywhere.
But we don't think that anymore, right? Do we still think that?
I don't know. I really don't know. In terms of like, I mean, I'm not about to slip into like gender roles and, stuff like that. But in terms of who is better equipped to run a household, right? Especially because when you start having kids, the kids are growing, all of that, and men are out working. Women are out working as well today, right? So
I'm just waiting for you to land.
I'm digging the hole for myself.
I'm just waiting for you to land.
And then the men would come back late and all of that. And let's just be truthful, babe. When you have growing kids, who is better equipped?
No, don't ask questions. We'll make your points.
I'm asking. I think that women are better equipped to run the household That's my take. Better equipped.
How is it that men will build conglomerates and run empires and have all these companies, have all this staff sitting on boards everywhere, making decisions that are actually having real life impact on nations and people, and then you cannot run your own home? I think it is the prioritizing. I think it is what you have
women
called.
Are
what
running
have you,
these conglomerates.
What I think it is just what you have prioritized, what you see as important. Because men will come back and be like, oh, or some men anyway. I really think things are changing now. And I also noticed, especially with our first child, I noticed that some things came naturally, yes. But when I asked you to help out, you were eager to help out. So I think some women they've not even thought of,
so you're falling into that as well. So why is it me helping out? Why not me doing it? Why don't you say, do it, let me help you?
Okay, thank you for correcting me. But then it became your chore.
Right.
So it became, I was the one, changing diapers, doing this, doing that. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, please change her. So in that moment I'm thinking, okay, I need to do something else, please do it. But then it became your thing. And then from me, so that's also the thing, that's what I'm talking about, the light bulb moment for women, that sometimes the men just need to be told what to do. Sometimes they don't know, and sometimes the women also have just taken up this role of,
you don't think women are
responsible
better equipped to raise children?
Let me finish my train of thoughts, please. Sometimes women just take on this role of, I'm responsible for the home, I'm responsible for the kids, I'm responsible for groceries, I'm responsible for ensuring that everything is running well, and they forget that you are partners, you are working together, right? So this person as well is equally as responsible, and let the person know. Maybe the person doesn't know, because I think that's what happened with us. It just occurred. I'm like, wait, please change. Can you change her diaper? And you're like, oh, sure. You were happy to. And then you took it up and you were like changing diapers and feeding the baby and all of that. And it's that psyche that needs to be changed. Women need to know that I can ask my husband, again, is that whole mind reading thing. This man is not able to read my mind now that I probably need help.
Okay, let me take it off from
Yeah.
there. So when a woman gets pregnant, who's responsible for the child?
When the woman is pregnant?
Yes.
I mean,
when the baby is in the womb.
Yeah, the woman. It's what she eats. It's what she.
Why?
She's the one carrying the baby.
Yes. So nature decides to put first care of an infant in the hands of a woman.
Of a fetus.
In the hands of a woman. Why? Why do you think that?
Because the woman has the capacity. That's how we were built.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So a woman is better equipped at that stage in the fetus, or that stage in the child's life, to cater to the needs of that child. Does the father play a role? Yes. But primarily, the first caregiver, the primary caregiver to that child is the mother.
Okay.
I don't think that role changes much, even when the child is born. Why? Because after the child is born, who gets the breast milk?
The baby gets the breast milk.
Yeah, but who's giving the breast milk?
The mom.
The mother. If nature knew that the man was equipped, nature would have given, you give the woman pregnancy, give the man breast milk to balance it out. But no, nature didn't do that. Nature gave the mother breast milk. Still primary caregiver. Does the man help? Yes. Does the man have roles to play? Yes. But who's the primary at that point? I believe it's the woman.
Okay.
At that point, so the big question for me now becomes, at what point did primary caregiver to this child or these children change? I don't think it ever changed, right? Are there primary roles for the man? Yes, nature has designed the men primarily for other roles, and they have to play other roles. And I'll switch to nature, right? As in base nature, like straight to
lion in the jungle.
Yes. The man is built a certain way, right? The man is equipped with certain instincts. Who spots danger first? Who's defending the home primarily? That role primarily would be given to the man. Nature primarily will give that role to the man, right? Because of the way the man is built, right? So I think nature already points us in a certain direction for roles within the home. right? Correct me if I'm wrong, baby. Like, I'm,
you
know, and then those pointers will give us like an idea of how to build a system. Because the truth is, nature has still the perfect system, right? We just emulate nature and try to build our own system according to what nature has created. So in the home, are there roles that a woman is better equipped to handle? I think so, right? The man should support. The man should be there, yes. But I think it would be a misadventure, misnomer for a woman to be primary protector of the home, because by nature that's not nature's design. So it's a bit miscued for that to happen. I say that to say, all of this to say that, back to the question of the woman is or tends to be the person who nurtures the home. You own the nest, then the man will go and fend for the nest and come back, and the woman takes care of the nest. It doesn't always happen that way, but primarily, that's the nature's design. So it tends that, or it so happens that when this is your nest, I would need somewhere to sort of like feel like, okay, I can let myself go here, this little space that I can call my own, to be alone and be like, okay, I can be myself. I can let my legs up and just, claim this little space, because the larger space that I've provided and that we have built together belongs to the woman. We have built together.
Okay. So
belongs to the woman.
Okay. So I hear you using nature, right? I hear you using like the lion in the jungle, all of that. They're out in the open, right? So that protection is there. How is the man protecting the family in contemporary times?
Financial protection, even physical protection, providing vision.
But the woman is doing direction. The woman is providing in financially as well. Yes.
So
the woman is doing that. So if she's doing what you're supposed to be doing, maybe you should also be doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Not supposed to be. Remember, I said a woman supports. So even in today's world, the way I see it, the woman can support the man financially. In the home chores, the man can support the woman in taking care of the home, can support. But remember, I said primary responsibility, primary design, primary how we're equipped by nature. Do you understand?
So
it's like taking care of children. The man should also take care of children, not primarily, but as a support.
I think I'm struggling.
Why?
I think I'm struggling just a bit. I think I'm struggling because of first of all, mindset shifts over the last how many centuries. Things have changed and we move with the times. Yes, there are some landmarks like we identified the other time. There are some things that are rooted that we should not move and we should not shift. But things have evolved. So if a woman somewhere is breaking her back, or if a man somewhere is saying, oh, primarily, nature has already put it this way, so I want to stick to nature. You are hurting your woman. You're not showing love to that woman. So we talked about love being the basis and being the foundation. If you love someone and you see the person struggling with 2 kids, 3 kids, and you are in your man cave because you have provided, you are doing a disservice to your family. Well, you are perpetuating a dangerous system, first of all, because your sons are seeing that, your daughters are seeing that. Then we have a generation of women who just feel stressed, who look harassed, who are just tired because the man is not helping because he has provided, forgetting that the woman has also provided, forgetting that the woman is also protecting. If I'm even talking protection, when you started talking about protection, I was thinking spiritual protection, right? It's like, okay, we're praying, it's a family, all of that. You find in these times that women are the ones doing more of the praying. Women are the ones doing more of the service. They are the ones waking up at midnight, putting anointing oil on their children's head by force, whether the child wants it or not. Do you understand? They are the ones doing that. So it cannot be absolute. Primary caregiver cannot be absolute. when the woman nurtures the child in the womb and brings the child out and breastfeeds, there are other chores.
Absolute?
There are other chores.
Can that be absolute?
What? Bringing the child to life. That is
you don't
absolute.
think men should be giving children?
I mean, if men can carry the children, we'll give it to you. Please take over and try.
So that's my point. My point is nature has decided already.
Nature has decided certain things.
It's like saying, oh, the male and female gender is in the past. Now let's have more genders.
No, what I'm saying is different. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about us as husband and wife.
It's the same, but hear my point.
It's not the same.
Okay,
I'd really like to address that. Okay. It's not the same.
Okay.
I'm talking about husband and wife, faith-based. This is us as a family.
Okay.
Who is doing what?
Okay. So what I said is that nature already decides
certain aspects.
Yes.
The person that created the airplane could have easily said, nature has decided that we're going to be walking everywhere. There's evolution. There's stuff happening. There are things changing.
Yes, but we're talking about family.
And we've gone off the topic of the art of being alone.
And it's fine. We're talking about family. We're talking about roles in a family. Now, I haven't said that a man should be in his man cave.
You are saying the wife is the primary caregiver.
Yes, primary.
Okay.
There's such a thing as primary, secondary, tertiary.
Okay, so what are the secondary, secondary things? The primary things for a child, feeding, right? A newborn can exist without much, but milk. The newborn needs milk. The newborn needs nourishment, food. So that's the primary role of the primary caregiver. Can we talk about the secondary things that the baby needs?
It's like saying a baby is crying, where's the food, where's the food? And you're waiting for your husband to feed the baby.
I can't wait for my husband to feed the baby.
Wait, I'm coming.
Yeah.
So this is where primary comes in.
Okay.
Who's the first person who is triggered by your child's immediate need for food? Who's the first person that is alerted to that need? You've heard that babies are crying and your breasts are getting full. Engorged. Why? It is not just for any reason. That's a signal. Nature is ringing a bell.
Babe, so one thing you have harped on is primary. Let's talk about the secondary needs of the child.
So every other thing can act as secondary. Okay. Any other thing can act as secondary. I haven't said a man shouldn't change diapers. I change diapers.
Yes, you do.
I cook. I do all those things. But it doesn't absolve you from the fact that you are primarily supposed to attend to certain needs.
Okay, I agree.
Will the man support you? Yes. Just like
I agree.
Primarily a man should tend to his family, provide financial security, physical security, spiritual security, because he's the priest. You're not going to say, I don't know how to pray, let my wife be the priest.
Well, you know that happens.
But that's a misnomer.
That happens, yeah.
So primarily protection from the man. Financial protection, spiritual protection, physical protection. You're built for that.
Okay.
Sometimes situations can occur. The man can lose his job. It doesn't absolve you from the fact that primarily you're designed to be that person.
Okay.
Haven't you seen people who are sick and can't breastfeed, or people who don't produce breast milk, and then you have to have help? You have to use, but it doesn't change the fact that primarily you are that person. Okay. And then other things can come into place, right? Okay. And then love and understanding. You see your wife is tired, don't fold your legs and say she's the primary caregiver.
And I'm in the man cave.
And no, absolutely not. I don't stand for that at all.
Okay. Let's go. Let's dial back. Mm-hmm. Let's dial back. How often should couples get alone time?
As often as the need arises. You know when you need time out. You know when your body starts to speak to you. Your mind starts to speak to you. And then if you're sensitive to your body and your mind, you should take time out. I'd say every day, give yourself alone time. Every week, give yourself alone time. Every month, give yourself alone time. Decide the proportion as long as it works for your system, because people run different systems. As long as it works for your system, take it. And don't use it as an excuse to run away from your family again. You know, you just need a time. Even Jesus took time out, right? Jesus took time out from all his people. He would go away, but he would always come back to be with them. He would go away to pray and come back to be with them. You know, everyone, if the Son of God needed time out, who am I?
Yeah. And I think that's a great point. I think it's something that people need to know, the importance of just spending time with yourself. But there's also the how. There's also the how. What are you doing when you're alone?
Video games.
Is that the best? Is that the
use of time?
Is that the best use of your time?
No, but whatever for me, right? Whatever de-stresses me. You know, sometimes remember when you used to come to the room sometimes and you see me watching football, you'd be like,
"Please,
haven't you watched this game already? Like you've seen the game already. This same game, you know the scores. Why are you watching it? It's therapy for me. It de-stresses me.
Right.
Like I might not even be paying attention, but let the game just play. Like it calms me down. It's de-stressing. It's therapy.
Okay.
You know, so you decide what works for you, and then.
Okay, so I think things that we have highlighted, it's important to have alone time, right? I know we digressed into that whole primary caregiver and the gender roles, which I don't think, I mean, I don't see an end to that conversation ever. I don't think there would ever be like an absolute answer of this is the way to do it. I think it still remains within the purview of the couple. What works for your family? What works for your home? What makes both parties feel seen, honored in the marriage, and not one party thinking I'm leaving all of this for the person. It's like a party saying I'm going to leave all of the financial responsibility on the other party, or I'm going to leave all of the spiritual responsibility on the other party. I think when love is involved in those conversations and in those spaces, things are done differently and people do what works for them. But in terms of just spending alone time, I think more people need to just cut away from the noise, cut away from the stress, and there are stressors, because there are stressors. There are people who haven't even gone on leave. There are people who, there's somebody, 7 years.
Nigerians don't know how to go on holiday.
No holiday, no leave, working back to back, trying to prove what point. Even if you are the owner of the company, you take a break. You absolutely take a break, spend time with your family, then spend time with yourself, and just revisit your thought process, revisit your belief systems. And
then if your spouse says he or she wants to
needs a break, please
let them take time out.
In fact, encourage them to take time out. And sometimes don't wait for them to speak.
And especially when it's not expensive, because some people like expensive time out.
What's funny? What are you laughing about?
But you know your timeout is always expensive. Your timeout is extra. Your timeout requires flight ticket, hotel booking.
What's funny? What's funny?
Yeah. My timeout is guest room. I go to the guest room for timeout.
That is not true. Well, to each his own. Decide how you want to spend time. Decide what is important to you. I don't know how you stay I don't know how you can be in the guest room and maybe like the daily breaks, right? But there's a period where you just need to be with yourself. You need the retreat. You need to recalibrate. You need to even connect with your maker. Hey, how am I doing? No, you put me here. We've done 3 months. I've not really had this break with you. Give me updates, you know what I mean? Or upgrade me. Give me a different kind of thinking. What do I need to know? Again, back to that whole, what do I need to learn, unlearn, relearn, right?
And some people just use these breaks as excuses to do.
We're not talking about those people.
Yeah, but just to call that out, that it's not an excuse
to misbehave.
To go do funny things. And it's not an excuse to do that. You can hang out with your boys. You know, like, because sometimes guys just need to be with guys. They just need to be like, yo, my G. You know, that's sometimes what works for guys. Just so if your guy needs to be with his guys, let him be. You know, let him just be with his guys. That's okay too.
Okay, can we wrap?
Absolutely.
I think we can. So, I think everyone should really, really take time to get to know themselves, to spend time with themselves, to know what works for you. You know, so you've worked the past 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, and you have done all the work, you've poured in your blood, sweat, and tears. Take time away from that. Look at what you've done. Look at what you can do differently. Look at what you can unlearn. Look at if you have, you know, toxic traits that you can actually drop. Because I believe in those quiet spaces, you hear better, you hear clearly, right? He talked about Jesus standing up early in the morning. He's gone to commune with his Father, connect with his Father, get, I want to say, power, you know, for the day. It's important that we also imbibe those things, you know. And when I talk about Jesus, it's not, it's also something that the greats have done. So for those who don't share the same faith as we do, it's fine. You would hear from people who have made an impact in society, just the importance of retreats, of getting away, recalibrating, gathering themselves together, and then coming back and making even greater impact. So if you want to be great as well, you want to make impact, spend time with yourself. It's an art.
And if you're tired of your spouse, you can take time off as well. It's important to say that.
Please don't get tired of your spouse in the way that I think you're saying be tired of your spouse. If you need
you can take a break. Instead of, you know, like quitting on the marriage or the relationship, just take a break. It's better to take a break to survive the heat than stay in the heat and get burned and destroying the marriage or the relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Come out for a breather.
Come out for a breather. Okay, we'll see you next week. Not sure what we're talking about, but we will be talking about something. See you then.
All right.